One fucking crack, one bastard of a neighbour, and you are knackered.
So I went to a networking event last night for the first time in a long time, because a part of my actionable steps to achieve my goals this quarter is to get out and network, right? Rather than just social media. So I went to one called Property and Poppadoms purely because I don't have to stand up and do a pitch. I don't have to pitch myself and go through the fucking anxiety that brings that along. And you just sit there, break bread, and have a proper chat with people. And I found that the quality of that networking was far better for me than most other events. Purely because the person does their talk, which is incredible. You always learn something new. And I find that sitting and eating with people, as simple as it is, everyone's a bit more casual. You know, the chat is more better, in my opinion. The connections that you build are stronger. That's what I experienced. And sitting next to a guy who I'm going to show around my projects tomorrow because he's interested in getting HMOs, you know, not trying to hard close him, not trying to do anything like that. I just love showing people around my HMOs, and he may know someone who's looking to invest capital and become a private investor, you know. But first and foremost, I just fucking love showing people around my projects, and we got on really well. And wherever this may stem or go, who knows? I know I'll be able to help him, he may be able to help me, and I'm really looking forward to potentially having just a friendship, because that's what I basically seek for, right? And I know that might sound pathetic and lonely, and I'm not pathetic and lonely, but the more friends I have, the better. The more people I can help, the better, because you never know, down the line they may be able to help you, and then it's like this relationship where you just help each other grow, you know. And I find that those are the better ones, where you build like a deeper friendship, because when you're helping each other, then, you know, it's like a high quality friendship, in my opinion. So really looking forward to, I hope he's able to do it tomorrow. But I met other people there, you know, I met other people who were incredible, and I'm basically zeroing in on this networking shit. And I've been very open on my channel about how anxious I get about standing up and doing a pitch, and how I've had like panic attacks like in the past because of it. So there's an event on Saturday where you learn how to speak and learn how to stand up and talk and present yourself and know what to say, how to say it, etc. I'm just thinking about pulling the trigger on it, you know. It's a decent size investment, I'll put it that way. But I feel like learning this skill will pay for itself 10 times over down the line, because I'll be able to stand up and pitch myself. I'll be able to do talks, you know, like actually stand and be the person that everyone's looking at and showcasing the lessons that I've learned, my expertise, the service that I provide, the projects that I work on. I feel like this investment here, this skill that I learned, the dividends that will pay down the line will be astronomical, you know. So I think what I'm trying to get across is find the networking events that work for you. That's the sort of one that works for me, and try and find a skill that has the highest leverage possible, and then fucking turn that weakness into a strength. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Public speaking, I believe, because I like talking. You can clearly see I like talking with these videos. So how do I get this in person? And then people coming up to me, yes, Scott, I'd love to invest with you. Love your story. Love what you're doing. I would love to invest with you. You know, that's the sort of thing that I'm looking to achieve. And I firmly believe this is the way to do it, you know. So if you are raising finance, if you're starting to raise finance, if you're going to be that person to do it, then subscribe and watch me learn how to do it. Like I know how to I've got the company structure in place. I know how to do the projects. I know everything else inside and out. Full expertise in that. The only chink in my armor is actually raising the finance itself. So you're going to watch me in real time, identify the skills I need to learn, invest in them, learn them, and then put them into practice. And who knows, you might be able to learn something yourself, learn from my mistakes, learn from my wins, because you'll see in real time whether I can raise it or not, you know, because this is it. You know what, I'm not going to keep rambling. That's what this channel's for, man. You're seeing someone in real time learn something new and try and achieve something big and bold. I don't want to big myself up too much. How about I just see you where I next see you? I think I'm on my way to a project just now. Let's hopefully get some video there.
All right, we are at Project Western. Electrics are being tested this week, and I'm about to meet the builder and the interior designer on site to make sure that we are all aligned with what's going on, because it's a new builder, so we have to make sure that they know where everything is going, what colors everything needs to be, because the last thing you want is all the paint to be put on and it's wrong. Not saying that they're going to do it wrong, but this little meeting here will save doing countless emails, calls, texts, all the back and forth carry on. All right, this one, 5 studios, 1 double ensuite. Should be done end of this month, first week of next. That's what we're looking for. All right, right, I want to do a warning to HMO investors that are thinking of investing in Warrington. So, bit of a disclaimer, nothing wrong with the area. I like Warrington. However, Article 4 has been announced, or is going to be announced, in Warrington, and basically I want to share what happened when that happened in an area that I work in, and you know, the lessons that I got from that experience. Basically, Article 4 got announced in the area that I operate in May last year, came into effect this year, so you got about 12 months warning, essentially. Before that, we got a couple offers accepted, and they were going at regular prices. So let's say they were £130,000 for a regular house, right? 85 square meter old Victorian style house in a nice area, okay? As soon as Article 4 got announced, within the first month or two, it would jump up to 150. Next thing you know, it's 170, right? Simply because all the HMO investors found out about it around the country, beyond the seas. They all start flooding in to secure properties, because when Article 4 comes in, it does make it considerably more difficult to get your HMO, okay? So this was like, people are just stocking up, stockpiling. I remember speaking to an estate agent at a project, and well, a viewing, and I was like, what do you think about all these house prices going up, mate? Why do you think that is? And I knew it was because of Article 4. And he was like, well, to be honest, I think there's something called Article 4 come into effect. And since then, what we've decided to do was, you have your market value, let's say it's 130, they would bump up 20%, and then it would go about 10 to 15% higher than that. So they already bumped it up. So like, it was never market value. So let's say you did offer the asking price, that was never the market value. That was already bumped up even more. This came straight from the horse's mouth, okay? And I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh, okay. But at the end of the day, for HMO investors, as long as it works for the numbers, that's the main thing. However, what I did notice was there was a lot of emotional offers being submitted. Basically, best and final, the classic best and final by estate agents. That was the time I fucking believed it. I believed it every single time they said it, because I saw it. You know, like I would see a property go on the market on Monday and it was sold subject to contract by like Thursday, like quick, every single time. Sometimes like Wednesday, I swear sometimes it was like the day after, you know, it was just like frightening how fast it was. So when it was best and final, they meant it best and final, and you find yourself negotiating against yourself, just sitting in your room thinking, okay, I'm going to offer 130. Nah, I should probably offer 135. Nah, fuck it, 140. Yeah, but it's my best and final. That's not my best and final. My best and final, if I tweak the numbers, if I increase the rent by £25 per calendar month, you know, if I just reduce the build by 10 grand, then I can get it up to 150. And they've just got an extra 20 grand out of you, and now your numbers are purely emotional based on best case scenario. You're no longer preparing for the worst, you are only preparing for the best, right? Which isn't a good investment strategy. That is an emotional best investment strategy. So that's what I was seeing in one side things. That was leading up to it, right? Builders were jacking up the prices because there was only X amount of builders in the area, good ones, and because they were fully booked, it was really difficult to get them. And when you did get them, the prices were higher. Supply and demand, totally get it. Business, that's what business is, okay? Fucking dying. So business were higher, solicitors were more busy, believe it or not, and estate agents were busy, architects were busy, everyone was like full to the brim. So replies were a lot slower. Getting responses, like if you have if you peel back the plaster back on this external wall and you peel it back and it's just all fucking cracks and stuff, you need to speak to your structural engineer. But he is fully booked up because everyone is doing the exact same kind of project. Prepare for that. Prepare for slow replies. Add time contingencies into the build specifically. Conveyancing as well, but mainly the build. You're going to get a bit of slow time in that side of things. Everyone's busy. Everyone's jacked up. Make sure you have your builder locked in from the fucking get-go. Now, veteran investors, experienced investors, you're probably going to already have this. You're going to be like, yes, Scott, I've already got all that locked in. Brilliant. I'm happy for you, obviously. But there's going to be new people that go to this area and think, I'm going to start my HMO portfolio, scale up before Article 4 comes in. Those people, that's who I'm really talking to right now. Make sure you've got your team assembled and prepared and understand that, you know, this could be like a guillotine. If it's mid-build and it's not finished, some areas they just go, you know what, you're done, you're not done. Bye. Like there has to be a time contingency at the end, huge one, and they have to understand the severity of the deadlines, okay? Make that clear to your team. However, when Article 4 does come in, you'll see that everyone is racing towards the same finish line. So let's say it's was it October? Let's say it's October the 2nd, right? 2026. I'm not saying it is. Everyone, like if you start your build now, start conveyancing now, that deadline doesn't really matter. But if you reverse engineer it, you know, you're looking at about March. If you're starting your build around March, April time, then that deadline is everything, okay? So you're going to see a lot of people racing towards that deadline. What happens when all of these people finish their projects on that deadline? You're going to see a tsunami of rooms come and flood the market, and then you've got a lot of supply. Can the demand meet that supply? Ask yourself that. Check the demand right now. It's not guaranteed that it will be the case in the future, but understand there's going to be a lot of supply coming to the market when the deadline comes in, because everyone's working towards that date. You're going to see people doing like first month free, like half their deposit, like first 2 months 50% off. Room rents will drop. I can guarantee that because I've seen it. Room rents will drop because there's a lot of supply. However, if there's like still huge demand and the supply increases, then, you know, what I'm saying right now is a load of shit. Just prepare for it. If it's like this right now, if it's like that right now, and then you see the supply go up here, you know, there's way too much supply, little demand, and you're going to see they're going to have to drop the room rents. That's what you're going to see, man. And you need to factor in your numbers right now and prepare for that. Okay, so you'll say have 750 for a studio, 625 per calendar month for a double ensuite. Be prepared that if you're working towards this deadline and it finishes on this deadline, you may have to drop those numbers. You may have to do 695 for a studio, 675 for a studio, 575 for a double ensuite. Can your HMO handle that? Can you cover your bills? Can you cover everything? Your mortgage, utilities, maintenance, lettings agents. If you're self-managing, don't have to worry about that, but can it handle that and still achieve cash flow? Because that is something, looking back on, I didn't see a lot of people do. And now I hear that some people are just breaking even. If they have one void, they're negative cash flow. That is very serious. That's serious stuff. So understand that builders are going to be busy. Builders are going to be more expensive. Your power team or the power team you're looking to get are going to be busier. Not saying that the architects cost more, I'm just saying that they are busier. So it might take longer to get replies and stuff. Room rents may drop, or I can fucking almost guarantee that they'll drop. Make sure you prepare for that on a numbers side. Is it going to be like a guillotine? Like, you might be like, oh, the build finishes September 22nd, but it comes into effect October the 2nd. Like, oh shit, that's a 10-day. One fucking crack, one bastard of a neighbor, and you are knackered, okay? So like, just understand, I'm not trying to scare everyone off. Listen to me. I still operate in that area where Article 4 came in. I know how to navigate that Article 4, and we did get a lot, okay? I'm just saying that stress testing the numbers, understand that it may take a bit longer. Not saying that it's always the case, I'm just going off my own experience. It may take a bit longer. And for you personally, the pressure will be intense. You'll go to sleep thinking about it. You'll wake up and it's your first thought, Article 4 is getting closer, Article 4 is getting closer, Article 4 is getting closer. You know, just remember that. Speak to someone when that happens. Or go for a walk, spend time with your family. Work harder as well, you know. I think it may come across that I'm ranting and just being like negative. I'm not. Warrington is a fantastic place, right? Great investment area. I know people that are building and scaling portfolios there, and I'm moving close to there, you know, like 18 minutes away or whatever. It's a fucking good place. And if you navigate this correctly, if you stress test your numbers, if you get your build team or your power team sorted and understand and like have briefs with them and speak to them about the Article 4 coming in, you know, the communication side of things, then you will be okay. Should nothing else huge come up, you know, like there's obviously an element of risk to HMO conversions anyway. We all know that, right? But I think it's just, don't get too caught up in the frenzy. Don't do your emotional bidding, you know, make sure the numbers still work, because you're going to see these prices go up like that and you're going to get really pissed off because you haven't had an accepted offer in 2 months and Article 4 is getting closer. Fuck it, I'll just offer 180. That's what's going to happen. Just remember to step back, remain objective. If the numbers don't work, the numbers don't work. And if you don't get as many as you hoped for, but you get the right ones, that's important and that's the goal, okay? I think it's important to remember, like, you might be like, I'll get 10, but you don't want 6 of them to be shit. You're better just getting 6 good ones, 3 good ones. 3 good ones that are stress tested, that if you have 2 voids, they still operate and have cash flow, okay? I think, do not, like, I'm starting to repeat myself now, but I went through it, I saw it, it's fucking infuriating, but it's also a golden goose opportunity. You will be able to scale if you do it correctly, and you'll be able to get a lot more than you could in an Article 4 area if you do it correctly. Just make sure that you do it correctly. Remain objective. Prepare as much as possible. Understand there will be pressure, but learn how to handle that, okay? Your team will be feeling the pressure. You know, if your builder's on 3 other projects for 3 other clients and they're on yours and those clients are fucking hammering them, get this shit done. Article 4 is coming in and they're not on your project, or you're like, get this shit done, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? That's purely emotional. Just work with your team. Work with each other. And you'll find that it'll be a lot better. It'll be a smoother process. And that's across any build, actually. Not even exclusive to this. How long have I been chatting shit for? 12 minutes. I'm really sorry if you're watching this. This goes to any Article 4 area. If Article 4 is coming in, if it's immediate effect, oh shit. That's a separate video, I'm sorry. But this one is potentially 12 months. I'm just letting you know I've been through it. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that period of time, because we've done it correctly, okay? I wouldn't be where I am, right? So I was able to build a business, build a life that I dreamt of. You can do this. You know you can do it. Just try and remember. try and remember that leaving emotions out of it, that's what'll get you through it, man. Why am I talking like it's some sort of fucking D-Day or something? This is like a opportunity. It's an opportunity. So fucking grab it by the balls, you know? All right, chat shit too long. Right, like and subscribe. I'm gonna speak with the builder and interior designer. Come on, see you in the next one.